And good morning. Happy Hump Day. We've made it halfway mark. My battery is a little bit full right now. I think yours is slowly going down. Brittany's been working
Just
for
a little bit.
been working for 100 days straight here. So either way, we got a lot of cool stuff for you guys throughout this morning, including a really interesting teaser that Brittany's going to tell you about.
Yeah, so we have the quick actions of a TSA agent who saved a pilot suffering from cardiac arrest. Well, the intense moments coming up later in the sprint. You don't want to miss everything that happened. A very scary situation, but luckily ended in a good way. So we'll share that later in the shows. But first, we got to talk about college and college decision day.
Exactly. So we all know it's prom season as well. So later in the spring, we're also going to show you guys a couple pictures you submitted through Pin It. And we're going to talk to our girl Jazzy Jazz specifically about this particular story. So college decision day is right around the corner, and high school seniors are getting ready to make those big choices and where they will attend college. But how can you make sure your student is making the most of their 4 years? So Brittany, I got a quick question for you.
Yes.
Obviously, this was the most stressful time of everybody's life, trying to figure out where you want to go. So what were some of the decisions, I guess, that you made or you found challenging?
So it was very hard for me.
Yeah.
I'm a very indecisive person, for anybody who doesn't know that. And so I applied to so many schools. Me and my dad went on so many visits. It was to a point where we would make a game out of it to see, like, what do you think's next? They're going to show us the dorm or the library. We would make a game. And so eventually what I ended up doing, I'm a pro and con list person.
Yeah.
Pro and con list, eventually put it down to a list, and I decided on Millersville University, which was in Pennsylvania. And I made the decision based off of which school had the best program for the thing I wanted to do, which I knew was journalism and TV. So they had the best program for me, and I just felt at home there. But as far as advice of when you actually get to college, I'd say the best thing to do is just try everything.
Yes.
Don't just stick with your friend group. If you have a club and you want to join, but you got no friends right at that moment who want to join with you, just do it, because you never know. Because you want to, I feel like, get involved in as many things as possible.
Oh, yeah, because you got to figure it all out. What about you, Rebecca? What was some of the advice, I guess, you would give to people who are entering that decision factor?
Yeah, number one, just take a big, deep breath right now. I know everything is so stressful and it's so, you think every decision has to be made right now, but it doesn't. So just inhale and exhale and then take things one situation at a time. My family has this really weird saying, and it doesn't make sense, and it's actually, like, it's kind of sad, but we have this saying. And my parents always, anytime I got overwhelmed, my parents said, "How do you eat an elephant?" And the answer is one bite at a time.
Okay.
You know, so take your decision, one small decision at a time. You know, do you want to go to this dining hall or that dining hall?
Right.
And then go to the next one tomorrow. Not everything has to be decided in your first year. So just make sure to take a deep breath and enjoy it as it goes along, because 4 years flies by.
Yes. All right,
It went
Rebecca.
quick. How did you decide?
So, I literally, it was kind of one of those decisions where I kind of fell into it a little bit because my mom, it was one of those things where my mom really wanted me to go nearby. So it was Arkansas State University. And I was just like, I guess I'm going to do it. I'm not going to end up being like one of those kids who get to enjoy the dorm life, because my mom was very, very protective of me. So I never even stayed on campus. But when I got to Arkansas State University, they had one of the top media departments as well. So I was just like, okay, let's go. This is what I'm doing. So either way, later on in the sprint, we also want to hear from you. What are some advice or tips that you have for people who are entering that stage? And again, we're going to talk to Jazzy Jazz about some of the tips that she's looked up and figured out they have to offer for students going into that phase. So let's bring it back home. We're going to Lynchburg. They're doing these cool things called the Walkabout Wednesdays. Check this out. So members of the Lynchburg Fire Department will walk door to door in neighborhoods. As soon as we get a chance, we'll pull up that graphic across the city to help educate families. What are you doing back there, girl? Get your life together.
Sorry.
Okay.
There's that graphic.
Okay, there's the graphic. So members of Lynchburg Fire Department will walk door to door in neighborhoods across the city to help educate families on fire prevention. If the house doesn't have detectors or if they need new batteries, firefighters will install them for free. And the department says that they'll do this each Wednesday morning for the next 6 weeks between 10 a.m. and noon. Today, they'll visit homes in the 600 to 800 blocks of Madison, Harrison, and Federal Street. So if you see people knocking on your door, don't freak out. These are law enforcement. These are people who are there, first responders, to help make sure that you are safe should anything crazy happen. I know we've been covering quite a few fires here lately, so make sure you guys, if you're in that area, be prepared to figure out how to get helped.
Yeah, especially that big fire we covered yesterday that was in Lynchburg at that apartment complex. This kind of fits right in with that. But I mean, we've all covered a number of fires here, and the firefighters always say the number one thing that's going to protect the most lives is those fire detectors. Make sure you have them, they're working, the batteries are good, because I mean the seconds matter in that moment. So they want to make sure everyone's safe.
Don't be like me. When they're chirping, replace the battery. Don't just take it out.
And if you need help, call Jaffney. She helped replace my fire detector battery for me one early morning.
That was a whole thing.
Thank you so much, but we are prepared to go.
Yes.
All right, so now on to another local story that's happening this weekend. If you're looking for a new best friend, you're going to want to listen up. So a majority of animal shelters in Southwest Virginia, they are at capacity and struggling to take on more animals right now. We're seeing it everywhere. Well, that's why the Bedford Humane Society and Friends of Bedford County Animal Shelter, they're teaming up this weekend. They realized the need to help animals is growing every day, so they wanted to come together for this common goal. And that was something they really stressed when I talked to them, is the fact that they might be two different organizations, but they all are working for the same thing. So this weekend, they are hosting an awareness event. Cute little kitty right there. It's taking place at Smith Mountain Lake Pavilion, located in downtown Manita. So while you're there, you can meet over a dozen animals that are looking for their forever homes.
Adoptions are super low right now, and getting those animals out there, getting them some exercise and some stimulation from their kennels, and also hopefully getting them adopted is so important right now. It is a county facility, and with it being a county facility, when it gets full, sometimes we hope not, but difficult decisions can be having to be made. So anything we could do to get these animals adopted.
So in addition to these animals, there is also going to be live music, and this band fits perfectly. They're called the Stray Dogs Band. They'll be performing. There will be children's games, prize wheels, also personalized pet ID tags will be available and made on site for you. And all the proceeds from this event will go to support the animal shelters and the animals. And these shelters, they operate completely off of donations and grants, so they need everyone's help at the moment. So maybe you need a new best friend, or maybe you just want to go play with a puppy for the afternoon. They said that is great as well, because these dogs need to be socialized, get that stimulation, and get out of the shelter.
Yeah, and it works too, because you'd be amazed at how many people will go and actually find their forever pet. Like I used to cover these stories a lot back in Arkansas, and we actually, because of my little TSR, my little special report that I did, we did this big, huge community jump in. Let's go and have this big adoption event, or just check it out. And my news director, assistant news director, I think, and my our chief meteorologist walked away with a dog that they still take pictures with today.
So
it works, man.
Yay.
You never know how much they will change your life.
I know, and you could just have that instant connection and feel something. Oh, well, we wish them all the best of luck. Again, that is this Saturday at Smith Mountain Lake.
All right.
And we also have a unique opportunity for those cold as ice.
That's right. Local high school students can sing live on stage with the band Foreigner, thanks to the Q99 Choir Contest.
The radio station has once again teamed up with the classic rock group ahead of their concert at the Salem Civic Center next month.
Yes, not only will the winner sing, I Want to Know What Love Is.
You gonna do
I
that?
gotta sing it all the time, every time. There you go, Rebecca. So this is you get a chance to sing this with the band, but they'll also receive $500 for their choir program. You may remember Christiansburg High School performed with Foreigner when they came to town in 2019.
It's making a wonderful, wonderful memory. They'll remember it forever. Awesome.
And performing in front of several thousand people. And I did think that some of the parents might have been a little more excited than the kids, because it's Foreigner, and that's what we grew up with.
Right, yeah.
And so Q99 Radio is currently accepting applications. Listeners will vote on the winner next week. So this is exciting. If you're someone who wants this opportunity, we have all those details for you online.
Yeah, I bet it's going to be very exciting. We wish you guys the best of luck, because we can't wait to see the videos afterwards. See some really top-notch performers. How cool would it be if we have a person who is in one of these choirs, perform with them, and then they end up being the next American Idol or something? Wouldn't that be cool?
You never know what an opportunity is going to lead to.
Let's
you
go.
never have any idea. So it could be like, oh, I won this contest. And then they're like, wait a second.
Exactly.
This person.
How cool would it be if you were discovered? Like, your career is kickstarted
Yep.
by, like, the lead singer of Foreigner.
Let's
Like,
go. So get them vocals together, man. You want to know what love is. And right now, we want to know what the weather is with meteorologist Chris Michaels. Okay, I know that sounds awful,
No,
but
it sounds beautiful. I love it.
let's go ahead and check in with him to figure out what our forecast is doing today.
Happy Hump Day, guys. Today turning a little warmer than the past few days. Not going to be like the 80s of last week, but we will be warmer, upper 60s and lower 70s. Soaking rain, that arrives late Thursday night into Friday. Tracking another system this weekend. It looks like the timing of that being pushed back towards Sunday evening and Sunday night. So we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. We'll keep you posted on that throughout the next several days.
All right,
All right.
Chris. Thank you.
I was gonna say thank you.
I wanted to
I
thank
wanted to thank you
I'm sorry.
first.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Chris, for the weather. You just did the intro. I want to do the
Okay,
outro.
you got it, girl. Do your
All
thing.
right. Well, anyway, we have another story for you that's kind of it's interesting. It made me look at it twice when we read it this morning. But the discovery of an ancient Roman bust in Texas thrift store is coming full circle.
Preparations are underway to send this piece of history to a museum in Germany, and the sculpture dates back to 1st century AD Rome. It was purchased at an Austin, Texas thrift store for $35.
It's believed the artwork belonged to a museum in Germany, but it was likely stolen during the height of World War II.
Yeah, so Rebecca, I know you're
Oh my gosh.
you're a history buff, so tell us, what are your
Heck
thoughts
yeah.
about this?
I would not be giving it back. Absolutely. Absolutely not. This is staying on my bookshelf.
I don't know about all that. So I would
Like, look, that girl is the luckiest person in the world. I shouldn't say lucky.
So here's my thing
Well,
is, I would
okay.
probably hold it hostage. I'll be like, yo, if you got $35 billion, I can give it back to you. Get it out.
It depends. So it would depend on where the museum was.
Okay.
Like, it was a German museum, right? And so obviously history is really gruesome in that. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I was
gonna say, where
You just
going
like,
with
you
this?
just want the
It's
statue.
fine.
You
I
wanna
would keep it.
Yeah.
I love history enough that I would keep it, and I would be like, y'all ain't touching this.
Oh,
like,
look
sorry,
at
find
you.
us keepers, lose us weapons.
Okay,
No,
well,
I don't
there you. I would
know.
give it up.
I'd give it back.
When I realized how long it's been out in this world, I only imagine. See, I'm one of those people who think that things can get haunted and like a little Annabelle doll and stuff. So I'm like,
Ooh, that's a
y'all
good
can take your
point.
little head back. We'll give me my money. It's like, it'd be something
I'm
like
just
that.
imagining my cat like walking up on my bookshelf, just like pushing it over. This like priceless artifact just shatters
That's
on my
also
floor.
part of it too. I don't want to be responsible for this priceless artifact.
Right.
Like I'd be like, oh, I don't want to break. Okay, you have it back.
Yep.
You can take it. It's okay.
Yeah, as long as I
Yeah.
get that exchange though.
Yeah, no, I'm good with
So-
that too. I like that too.
Or like
So-
my name on the little plaque in the museum, like donated by Rebecca Williams.
Oh, look at you.
Because then I feel like really fancy and like
Oh
I'm a
gosh,
curator.
Rebecca. Okay, so moving on to our next story, guys. First of all, I want to know what y'all think. Would you give it back? Would you keep it? Or would you charge money for it? You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. Okay, going to this story. This is a very shocking story that we learned about today. Again, this is talking about how your quick actions can literally save a life. And this will happen at an airport. It says a TSA officer is being praised for saving a pilot's life after a cardiac arrest at Richmond International Airport. Officers were in the middle of a security operation when they noticed the pilot looking unwell before he collapsed.
And it took a while for emergency services to respond, but thanks to a TSA officer, Nigel Allen, they were able to get an AED device to the pilot, who regained a pulse and consciousness.
He had noticed that a pilot was leaning over the railing, and he asked me if he was about to pass out, and the next thing you know, he hit the ground. He was holding on to the rail and just kind of standing there. That there's somebody turning blue in my arms, and I needed to do something.
So the pilot is now recovering, and his family is expressing their deepest appreciation for everyone's help. That's why
Yeah.
it's always important to know, where those AEDs are throughout,
Right.
buildings. We always see those little maps, and obviously I feel like a lot of people don't pay attention, but they're
That
life-saving.
can come in handy. And the
Yeah.
thing that scares me the most about this is that, can you imagine, like, I'm upset that he had to deal with that to begin with, but very happy that it happened at the time that it did. Can you imagine him being in the air and him catching that? Like, that would have definitely been a horrible
Scary.
situation.
That
but-
reminds me of a movie I just watched where it was a pilot and
Really?
he was flying a plane, he had a heart attack, and it was one family in the plane, and
Mm-hmm.
the passenger was the dad. Like the
Oh,
dad next to
wow.
him was like, I don't know how to fly a plane. And
But he had
it's-
to figure it out.
But it's a true story.
What is the name of this movie?
I'll have to get it for you.
Yes.
But I just watched this movie. It's an older movie. It was made a couple, I think early 2000s, but I just
Yeah.
watched it. Freaked me out. But That's what
Yes.
this made me think of. But yeah, it's a true story.
Yeah.
So, have you guys ever received AED training?
Yes.
No.
Like, do you guys know
Yeah.
how to use one if something happened?
No.
I was a one-year lifeguard for 6 years in your yeah, you had to. That was like #1 training thing.
So,
So they have the pads.
right.
And
you
they've
stick 'em
got the
on and-
AED. So the pads have pictures on where to put them. So just
Okay.
follow
And
the
they're
pictures.
sticky.
And they're sticky, so they stick to that person. And
Okay.
you want to make sure it's like a direct line from like the heart to, so they got to be like this.
Okay.
And then when you push the button, the AED will literally direct you like how to do it. Like it talks
Okay.
to you.
Yeah.
So it's not that hard.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you're not certified in that or if you don't know what's going on, I encourage you to go to the Red Cross's website. They have a ton of information on it.
Right.
And it's really, really easy. And like you just saw, it could save a life someday.
Yeah.
All right.
And here in Virginia, we have the Compress and Shock Foundation that also
Oh,
teaches
yes,
that too,
that is
because
true.
that's like a big thing of theirs, making sure also every building and local place has an AED. So yeah, if you're someone who wants to learn that, plenty of resources to learn.
Definitely.
All right, well, I Beloved Festival is back this year after a 3-year hiatus here in Roanoke. Look at this. Due to the pandemic, the Lebanese Food Festival is coming back to the Star City.
Yeah, this will be the festival's 22nd year. The festival features delicious Lebanese food, Lebanese music, and traditional Lebanese folk dancers in full costumes. Organizers say that they can't wait to bring the family-friendly event back to Roanoke.
And the festival runs June 2nd through the 4th, so mark that on your calendars. It's at St. Elisa's Maronite Catholic Church on Cove Road in Roanoke. Admission and parking are free, but they're...
It's going to be a lot of fun because it's like, well, a lot of culture that you see there. Food looks delicious. And I can imagine, again, we were talking about this earlier about how important it is to kind of showcase other cultures' tradition, you know,
Yeah.
and I can tell that that's a lot of fun. I'm excited for this to come back.
Yeah, when I first moved here to Roanoke, I actually learned that there was a big Lebanese population here in Roanoke.
Yeah.
I went on a tour when I first moved to kind of learn the area, and someone was telling me about that. I had no idea that that was kind of part of Roanoke's culture and history.
Oh,
So
look at that.
Yeah.
We learn everything every day, so
I
guys,
know.
make sure you be looking out for that.
And I think so many people are so like excited to share their cultures. Like whenever they get the opportunity.
Oh,
So like
yeah.
this is such a great learning experience for people to like widen your acceptance and like learn about new cultures and new traditions and how other people do things and what is significant to people. And I think it just helps us all grow a lot closer as a community.
Yes,
And
definitely.
it's back after the 3-year hiatus, so
Yep.
that's a lot of people excited for that one.
Definitely. So earlier in the show, we were talking about obviously college and getting ready for it, but we all know that prom is basically right now. And you guys have blessed us with some beautiful pictures. We'll cut this out. So we got a couple of last seniors getting their experience before
Ooh, look at that
graduation
blue.
day.
I love it.
One of those in prom. So Rebecca, you actually got like these individuals. You pulled these pictures off of Pennant, right? This is the first one.
So viewers submitted these photos to us through our Pennant website. It's through our website. It's a tab called Pennant. This one was from someone called Blackwell.
Go back to the. You're probably gonna have to pause it. They each got
Yeah.
like 15 seconds each, so you're gonna have
So
to go
this
back.
one's from a username named Blackwell. I'm assuming that's a last name. They were from Rockbridge County this year, so up in the Highlands. Going back to this one, this is Kaden and Gabby.
Okay.
Aw,
This
they
was
look
sent
so
in to
cute.
us by Kimberly T.
Oh, I love that color. It's beautiful.
And then if you like, yeah, just keep on going through them.
Keep on
There we
scrolling.
go.
Oh, look at that.
Look
Look
at
at that water fountain in the
I
background.
know,
Yes.
I know.
Look at that.
This one's sent in by Ash East. So thank you, Ash. We love the color coordination there with the bow tie.
Oh, look
And
at the
this
car.
one.
Oh, he's
Yes,
fancy.
he cool with
Not
it.
not afraid to go by himself.
Good for
I love
him.
that. I love an independent. This
Yes.
one is Aiden. This was sent in to us by Jennifer SC.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a lot of cool pictures. Everybody is
Yeah.
real fancy, and you would notice, like, especially from the time that we went to prom,
Oh,
and then think about the
yes.
time that your parents went to prom,
Oh,
what
my
they
goodness.
wore. Nowadays, everything is just super
I
glamorous.
feel like the styles have changed even just so much, like you said, since we've been in high school. I feel like what I wore to prom, obviously, I don't think anyone would really wear it today. I did a lot of sparkles. I mean, they've
Yeah.
got sparkles too, but
Yeah.
it was definitely a lot. But a good time, a lot of memories.
Oh,
right there.
definitely. Let's bring Jazzy Jazz in. Hey, Jazz, what did you wear to prom? Jazz, can you hear me? Jazzy Jazz. Hold on.
We got issues with Jasmine today. That's
Oh,
okay.
no wonder. It would help
She
if I
can't hear
unmuted
you.
you. I'm sorry. Hey, Jazz, can you hear me? Yes, now I can. I had you on mute. My bad, girl. So yeah, we were asking, what did you wear to prom? Do you remember your dress?
Yeah, it was like a blue mermaid kind of dress. It was navy
Ooh.
blue. It wasn't anywhere near as glamorous as the dresses on the picture. Like they look absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a navy blue kind of like a mermaid fitting dress and had diamond studs at the top. It was
Yes,
really
girl.
pretty.
So we definitely need to see some pictures because I'm picturing Ariel in the new live action film Little Mermaid because of that. So we were talking about earlier today with the college decisions and how difficult and stressful that can be, and you were kind of chatting with me about some of the tips that you found out. So if you had some advice for people who are going into that chapter of their lives, what are some of the things that they need to be aware of to make the process less stressful?
Yeah, absolutely. College is it can be extremely fun. There's definitely some tips that you should be aware of before going into college. One thing that I definitely recommend is being organized, having a planner, having a calendar where you kind of mark your assignments down, your homework, like events that you want to go to, or even just different things for your classes and different projects that are due, because that way it can keep you on top of things so you won't forget. You can also mark those mark test dates too, which is really important, just so you can get like a real head start on those tests and have plenty of time for preparation. Another thing is always be prepared. Do not procrastinate, even as tempting as it may be. I know that was something that I really struggled with in college was procrastination, waiting until the last minute. While this, like you can probably while you might get away with this, it's a lot easier to plan ahead. Like you said, use that planner, use your calendar, study well ahead, a few days ahead, a few weeks even, just so that you're extra prepared, especially with assignments because they can really sneak up on you. Another thing is just take advantage of your college resources. That's one thing that I really wish that I did more of. So going to the gym, college gym. I mean, you're paying for this, so you might as well take advantage of those study halls and just the different study areas, going to the gym, going to any free events on campus. I know we had a lot of free events where I know one time they even had like a free movie showings, just different community events that they offered to us that I really wish I would have took more advantage of.
All right. Well, Jazz, all that sounds freaking great. If you could tell us, do we have any viewers today?
Yes, we have a ton of viewers today. No comments, but as always, all you have to do is head to our website, scroll beneath the live stream, and then type whatever you want to say. We really want you guys to join the conversation.
All right, Jazz. Thank you so much for always being awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you later, okay?
All right, bye.
Bye.
Some good advice there for anyone going to college. I know that planner. I lived by it.
Yeah.
I had that planner, wrote everything down, saved my life.
Oh, definitely. So before we end, we got those headlines to give to you.
Yep. So coming up in our later newscast, we have Attorney General Jason Miyares is upping his action against gun violence. He talked about the progress of his Operation Ceasefire initiative. We have a breakdown of some of the aspects of that plan, which includes adding new prosecutors solely focused on gun violence.
Plus, we have one firefighter is hurt and 2 homes are destroyed after a fire not far from the downtown Vinton. Both homes were vacant. The firefighter was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, thank God. So the investigation into how this fire started is still ongoing. You'll have some details on that, and you'll obviously see more pictures, and hopefully we get an update on that firefighter.
And following President Biden's announcement for re-election, we spoke with 10 News political analyst Dr. Ed Lynch, who says Biden faces nearly 70% of Americans not wanting him to run. 52% is from his own Democratic Party. What this could mean for his campaign ahead, all these stories, again, coming up later in our newscast at noon and starting at 5, 6, and all the other ones.
Yeah, definitely. And online at WSLS.com. So with that, I ain't got nothing. Do you guys have anything else before we wrap it up?
Nope, I'm cruising.
All right. Make sure you guys enjoy your hump day. Thank you for joining us today on The Sprint. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. at WSLS.com.